The story is told about the great American rabbi, Rav Moshe Feinstein. One time, one of his students picked him up to take him to an appointment. The student got out of the car and opened the passenger door for the rabbi to enter. After the rabbi took his seat in the car, the student closed the door behind the rabbi, hopped into the driver's seat, and drove to the appointment. Upon arrival at the destination, another student was waiting for him to assist him. This student opened the car door and assisted the rabbi in getting out. As he began to walk, the student noticed the rabbi's hand was bruised and bleeding. He asked the rabbi what happened. Rabbi Feinstein replied, "The previous helper accidentally closed the door on his hand, crushing it. But he didn't say anything to him, as he knows it would cause him great embarrassment and grief." This is an amazing attribute, the power to swallow one's own pain just not to cause embarrassment to another person, to suffer internally, but not show in order to preserve the respect and dignity of another. From where did Rabbi Feinstein get the strength to behave like this? From where did this inner strength come? Is this something only reserved for the great rabbis, or is this something me and you can do as well? The answer is found in this week's Torah portion. Jacob, our forefather, meets Rachel at a well, and it's love at first sight. He wants to marry her and will do anything for her. Her father Laban demands 7 years of work in order to marry his daughter. Jacob agrees. His love is so great that the 7 years feel like a couple of days. Knowing his future father-in-law to be a liar, a swindler, and a cheat, as the wedding day approaches, Jacob senses he might try to pull a quick one on him and not give him Rachel to marry. So he gives her a special code, a secret password that only she would know, so that on the wedding night, when she is veiled, he can just ask her something and her reply would indicate to him that it was really her. Jacob was correct. Laban did have something up his sleeve. He had an older daughter named Leah, whom he wanted to marry off. And at the last minute, he told Rachel that her sister, and not her, will be walked down the aisle. Hearing her father's plan, Rachel quickly realizes that her 7-year dream of marrying Jacob is not going to be. We can only imagine how broken-hearted she must have been, how angry she must have been at her father, how emotionally crushed she was. But there was another problem too, and that is that Leah, her sister, was being set up for an embarrassment of epic proportions. Jacob would ask her for the secret code, and she wouldn't know it. She would give him an incorrect password, and Jacob will immediately expose the fraud, and Leah would be left standing under the chuppah canopy, shamefaced before all. She would be the laughingstock of the town. So our mother Rachel, the loving sister Rachel, swallows her own pain, swallows her own pride. She musters up the inner strength and tells her sister Leah the secret code, thus sparing her public shame. All those days and all those years of waiting would have to continue. She would not let her sister be publicly embarrassed by her father. Jacob ends up marrying Leah and only discovers the next day the scam of his father-in-law. He then goes on to work for another 7 years as payment for marrying Rachel. God takes note of Rachel's beautiful behavior and rewards her commensurately. Our DNA and genetics come from our parents. As Jews, we were bequeathed with certain special gifts from our fathers and mothers, from Abraham and Sarah to Isaac and Rivka, to Jacob and Rachel and Leah, to each and every one of us. Rabbi Feinstein got that inner strength from our mother Rachel, and so do I and you. This is a gift we all share. We need not be a rabbi, scholar, or even observant. So I challenge you today. I challenge myself today. When was the last time you controlled yourself from saying something that you knew would have an embarrassing outcome for someone else? When was the last time you accepted your own real pain in silence in order not to embarrass someone else? Can we do it again? Can we do it for a first time? Can we do it more often? It's in our DNA. The answer is we can and we should. I wish you a good Shabbos.